Live from New Delhi, you're watching DD India Live, India's voice to the world. I'm Ramesh Ramachandran. Coming up in the next 30 minutes. Prime Minister Narendra Modi concludes his visit to the Caribbean island of Trinidad and Tobago, leaves for Argentina on the third leg of a five-nation tour of the Global South. India signs 6 MoUs with Trinidad and Tobago, including one on making quality medicines available to the Caribbean island at affordable prices. Prime Minister Modi becomes the first Indian leader to address the Parliament of Trinidad and Tobago, says India's priority has always been the Global South and that as the fastest growing major economy, it understands its responsibility towards others. Prime Minister Modi becomes the first foreign leader to receive Trinidad and Tobago's highest civilian honor, the Order of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. It is the 25th international honor for the Prime Minister. And US President Trump speaks to Ukraine's President Zelenskyy, discusses boosting Kyiv's air defenses as Russia's attacks on Ukraine escalate. Prime Minister Narendra Modi embarks for Buenos Aires, Argentina, after completing his visit to Trinidad and Tobago. At the airport, the Prime Minister received a Guard of Honor. PM Modi will travel to Argentina on an official visit on 4th and 5th of July at the invitation of the President of the Republic of Argentina, Javier Milei. PM Modi is scheduled to hold bilateral talks with President Milei to review ongoing cooperation and discuss ways to further enhance the India-Argentina partnership in key areas including defense, agriculture, mining, oil and gas, renewable energy, trade and investment, and people-to-people ties. On the second leg of his five-nation visit, Prime Minister Modi addressed the Joint Assembly of the Parliament of Trinidad and Tobago. He is the first Prime Minister from India to address the TNT Parliament, and the occasion marked a milestone in India-Trinidad and Tobago bilateral relations. In his address, PM Modi touched upon various aspects of the age-old ties and multifaceted partnership between both nations. He thanked the people and government of Trinidad and Tobago for bestowing upon him the special honor. The Prime Minister said that President and Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago take pride in their Indian roots. He added that in India, democracy is not just a political system, rather it is a way of life. Right, now let's get you some MEA briefings on the visit.
Secretary South, Srimati Neela Malhotra, on the historic visit of Prime Minister of India to Trinidad and Tobago. For this briefing, we are also joined by Additional Secretary, Central America in the Ministry of External Affairs, Shri Rajesh Vaishnav, as also by our High Commissioner to Trinidad and Tobago, Shri Pradeep Rajpurohit. With that, I invite Secretary Madam to make her initial remarks.
Thanks, Randhir. Namaskar and very good morning to all of you. As you are aware, Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi is completing his official visit to the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. The visit was at the invitation of Prime Minister Her Excellency Mrs. Kamala Prasad Visit. Prime Minister arrived yesterday, and in a very warm and special gesture, he was received at the airport by the Prime Minister Mrs. Kamala Prasad Visit herself and her entire cabinet and members of Parliament. PM Modi was also accorded a ceremonial Guard of Honor. This is the first bilateral visit at PM level to Trinidad and Tobago after a gap of almost 25 years. And it's also the first visit by PM Modi as Prime Minister. In recognition of Prime Minister Modi's exceptional leadership, both within India and on the global stage, he was conferred with the Order of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, the country's highest national award. As regards the elements of the program, during the visit, Prime Minister Modi held extensive discussions with the leadership of Trinidad and Tobago, covering the entire gamut of bilateral relationship. A total of 6 MoUs or agreements have been signed between the two countries. These are, firstly, MoU on recognition of Indian pharmacopoeia. The signing of this MoU will provide improved access to Indian pharmaceutical products to Trinidad and Tobago market and will help the citizens of this country to get safe and quality medicines at affordable price. Secondly, we sign an agreement on Indian grant assistance for implementation of quick impact projects. This will further strengthen development cooperation partnership between our two countries, which is a very crucial pillar of our bilateral relations. In addition, we had program of cultural exchanges for the period 2025 to 2028, an MoU on cooperation in sports, an MoU on cooperation in diplomatic training, and an MoU on the establishment of two ICCR chairs of Hindi and Indian studies at the universities of West Indies of Trinidad and Tobago. Signing of these MoUs will further deepen the cultural, sports, and academic cooperation between our two countries. In addition, several announcements were made during the visit. Firstly, extension of OCI card facility up to 6th generation of Indian diaspora members in this country. As of now, this facility is available up to 4th generation of Indian diaspora members in TNT. This announcement was very enthusiastically received by the Indian diaspora, which constitutes almost 40 to 45% of the population of this country. In the education sector, PM announced gifting of 2,000 laptops to school students in Trinidad and Tobago, underscoring the use of technology in the area of education. In the agriculture sector, India has handed over agro-processing machinery worth $1 million to NAMDEVCO organization of TNT, which is the National Agriculture Marketing and Development Corporation of Trinidad and Tobago. As part of India's Humanity campaign, India also announced holding of artificial limb fitment camp in TNT for 50 days for 800 people. There were 2 more announcements in the healthcare sector. One was gift of 20 hemodialysis units and 2 sea ambulances to TNT to assist in the provision of healthcare. In addition, in the healthcare services sector, we have announced specialized medical treatment of 10 dignitaries of Trinidad and Tobago at accredited Indian hospitals for an amount of ₹1 crore per annum, along with return airfare under our Heal in India program. This facility will be offered for the next 10 years, and it takes our health collaboration beyond medicines and equipment. In the renewable energy sector, we announced solarization of the headquarters of Trinidad and Tobago's Ministry of Foreign and CARICOM Affairs by providing rooftop photovoltaic solar panels. On the cultural front, we decided to celebrate Gita Mahotsav at the Indian Cultural Center in Port of Spain, coinciding with the annual Gita Mahotsav celebrations in India. In addition, at the request of the Trinidad and Tobago government, we have agreed to training of 10 Pandits or priests of TNT and the Caribbean region in India. During the visit, the Trinidad and Tobago side announced that it is joining India's 2 flagship global initiatives, that is the Coalition of Disaster Resilient Infrastructure or CDRI and Global Biofuel Alliance, that is GBA. As you are all aware, TNT is already a member of International Solar Alliance, another flagship initiative of India. Both sides have also decided to explore the possibility of strengthening parliamentary cooperation, including by training of TNT parliamentarians in India and regular visits of parliamentary delegations to each other countries. A significant element of the program during the visit was the address by Prime Minister Modi to the Special Joint Assembly of the TNT Parliament. As you are already aware, the Speaker's chair in the TNT Parliament was gifted by India, a symbolic reminder of the strong democratic and parliamentary traditions that bind us. The chair has the inscription, "From the people of India to the people of Trinidad and Tobago." Another highlight of the visit was the Indian community event. Prime Minister Modi addressed a large gathering of Indian diaspora in TNT. The event was also attended by Prime Minister Srimati Kamala Prasad Bisesar, members of her cabinet, members of the parliament. Prime Minister Modi commended the diaspora members for playing a crucial role in preserving Indian traditions and cultural ethos, while also serving as a living bridge between our two countries. Prime Minister Kamala Prasad Bisesar hosted a dinner in honor of Prime Minister Modi, and the cultural performances during the dinner reflected the vibrant cultural landscape of this beautiful country, as well as our shared history and strong people-to-people ties. Prime Minister Modi has invited Prime Minister Kamala Prasad Bisesar to visit India in near future for further strengthening of the bilateral cooperation, and the invitation has been graciously accepted. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. With that, we open the floor for some questions. Please, if you can introduce yourself.
Hello, ma'am. Akshay Dongre from DD India. Ma'am, my question is, the MoUs and quick impact projects was signed. Can you please elaborate on any projects that are being planned? And has there been any specific request from Trinidad and Tobago side?
Thank you. Akshay, please.
गुड मॉर्निंग मैम, आई एम साक्षी सिंह फ्रॉम ऑल इंडिया रेडियो। मैम, मेरा सवाल ये है कि गत वर्ष दोनों देशों के बीच में एक MOU ज्ञापन हुआ था जो कि UPI की अडॉप्शन को लेकर था, और प्रधानमंत्री जी ने अपने संबोधन में भी बोला है कि त्रिनिदाद और टोबैगो करिबियाई क्षेत्र का पहला राष्ट्र है जिसने UPI को अडॉप्ट किया है। तो इसके बारे में मैं जानना चाह रही हूँ कि ये किस स्तर पे पहुंचा है, इसमें क्या प्रोग्रेस हुई है, और आगे दोनों देशों में क्या समझौता, क्या साझेदारी होगी कि इसको जल्दी से जल्दी यहाँ पे स्थापित किया जाए।
Thank you. Ma'am.
Thank you very much. As regards the first question, QIP actually is something like an umbrella agreement. It is offered to all the CARICOM countries and also in the countries in the Pacific Island region. Under this, we have 5 projects for $50,000 each per annum. So a total of $250,000 US are spent on quick impact project. As of now, we have signed the umbrella agreement. It is basically the host government which will decide which 5 agreements which they want to do under this. And then we will be separately signing MOU for each of those. Thank you. आपका सवाल UPI के बारे में है, यूनिफाइड पेमेंट इंटरफेस। अब जैसा कि आप जानती हैं कि ट्रिनिडाड एंड टोबैगो पहला देश था इस क्षेत्र में जिसने ये एग्रीमेंट साइन किया हमारे साथ। उसमें प्रोग्रेस ट्रैक पर है। एक NIPL जो हमारी एजेंसी है, नेशनल पेमेंट कॉरपोरेशन इंटरनेशनल इंडिया लिमिटेड, उन्होंने 2 विजिट भी कर लिए हैं और उनके साथ भी एक सेपरेट एग्रीमेंट हो गया है। नॉर्मली इस तरह के रोल आउट में कम से कम 1.5 से 2 वर्ष का टाइम लग जाता है। तो हमें उम्मीद है कि बहुत जल्दी एक यूनिफाइड पेमेंट इंटरफेस के तरह का एक मॉडल यहाँ भी लागू हो जाएगा।
Thank you. With that, we come to the close of this press briefing. Thank you very much.
Right, in other news, on the second leg of his 5-nation visit, Prime Minister Modi addressed the joint assembly of the Parliament of Trinidad and Tobago. He is the first Prime Minister from India to address the TNT Parliament, and the occasion marked a milestone in India-Trinidad and Tobago bilateral relations. In his address, PM Modi touched upon various aspects of the age-old ties and multifaceted partnership between the two nations. He thanked the people and government of Trinidad and Tobago for bestowing upon him the special honor. The Prime Minister said that President and Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago take pride in their Indian roots. He added that in India, democracy is not just a political system, but it is a way of life.
Both our nations rose from the shadows of colonial rule to write our own stories with courage as our ink and democracy as our pen. Today, both our nations stand as proud democracies and pillars of strength in the modern world.
Prime Minister Modi added that India is the fastest growing major economy in the world today, but the development of the country goes across borders. He added that India's priority will always be the global south.
India's growth is inclusive and people-centric. We see our development also as a responsibility towards others, and our priority will always be the global south. In times of disaster, we have responded swiftly with aid, relief, and solidarity. Our development partnerships are demand-driven, respectful, and without conditions. Distinguished members, it is time for us to work together to give the global south its rightful seat at the right table.
Prime Minister Modi also stressed that terrorism is the enemy of humanity and urged the House to deny terrorism any space.
Terrorism is the enemy of humanity. This very Red House has itself witnessed the wounds of terror and the loss of innocent blood. We must stand united to deny terrorism any shelter or space. We thank the people and the government of this country for standing with us in our fight against terrorism.
In an expression of thanks in the Parliament, Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, Prasar Bharati, said PM Modi is one of the world's most respected and most admired visionary leaders who has transformed his own country into a global powerhouse.
We had the distinct honor of conferring our country's highest national award, the Order of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. And Prime Minister Modi is recognized internationally as one of the world's most respected, most admired visionary leaders who has transformed and redefined and repositioned his own country as a prominent and dominant global power.
After the session, the Prime Minister was greeted by the members of Parliament of Trinidad and Tobago. Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Prime Minister Kamala Prasad Bharati also held delegation-level talks in Port of Spain. The two leaders held discussions on a wide range of areas covering mutual and global interest. India and Trinidad and Tobago exchanged 6 agreements. An MoU has been signed in the field of pharma cooperation, diplomatic training and sports cooperation. Another agreement signed on Indian grant assistance project for implementation of quick infrastructure projects, assistance of $58,000 for 5 projects. An agreement was also being signed on cultural exchanges for 2025 to 2028 and the establishment of an Indian Council for Cultural Relations Chair of Hindi and Indian Studies in the University of West Indies. PM Kamala Prasad Bharati gifted sweets to PM Modi, and PM Modi in turn presented a prototype of machinery and processing unit to her. Prime Ministers Modi and Bharati planted a neem sapling in the premises of the Red House, the seat of the Parliament of Trinidad and Tobago, as part of the Ek Peड़ Maa Ke Naam campaign, that is, a plant in the name of Mother. In a special ceremony at the President's house in Port of Spain, the President of Trinidad and Tobago, Christine Kala Kangaloo, conferred upon Prime Minister Modi the highest national award of Trinidad and Tobago, the Order of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, for his statesmanship, championing the priorities of the Global South, and for his exceptional contribution to strengthening the relationship between India and Trinidad and Tobago. The Prime Minister is the first foreign leader to be conferred with the award. With this, PM Modi now has been bestowed 25 such global recognitions. Accepting the award on behalf of 1.4 billion people of India, the Prime Minister dedicated the honor to the enduring bonds of friendship between the two countries. In other news, Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelenskyy held a conversation with US President Donald Trump on Friday. President Zelenskyy said that he discussed air defenses with President Trump and agreed to work on increasing Kyiv's capability to defend the sky as Russian attacks escalate. Zelenskyy added in a message on Telegram that he discussed joint defense production as well as joint purchases and investments with the US leader. Ukraine has been asking Washington, D.C. to sell it more Patriot missiles and systems that it sees as key to defending its cities from intensifying Russian airstrikes. And that's all for this edition of DD India Live. Let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. For those on the go, you can get all the latest news and updates from India and around the world on the DD India mobile app. It's available on both Android and iOS platforms. Scan the QR code on the screen to download it. And we'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I'm Ramesh Ramachandran. From all of us here in New Delhi, thanks for watching DD India Live.